Welcome to Caching Waves. This is an Elliott wave update for ICP. I'm going to get into the micro count over here, but just a quick recap on the daily. From our low, have this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 complete. 3-wave move to the downside, and we're looking to resume the trend to the upside. Now, important things to note to validate this count. We have our wave 1 and 2. Our usual target for our third wave is the 1.618. When we get extended, it can come up to the 2.618 or even higher. So you can see we got an extended third wave. Anytime we pass the 1.618, it's considered extended. So what that means is when we get that, we're only looking for a 1-to-1 of the length of wave 1 off of wave 4, which was right there at 1878.6. You can see we just wicked through that and reversed. Now areas, if you were trading this in real time, to look for a wave 4 is take the beginning of wave 1 off of wave 2, extend it off the top of wave 1, and you're looking for the top end hit of that channel. It's also a modified pitchfork if you pull those 3 pivots. So everything indicates that this is a impulse, one of the cleanest I've seen. We got our peak RSI in the third of the third and our volume, and very nice 3-wave correction as a WXY, where we got a triangle for our X wave. ABC came right to the 618 retracement of the entire move to the upside and reversed right in that golden zone. Now, important to note on the long-term trend, this entire move is a larger version of this wave 1 and 2. Think waves within waves. So what we're looking for from this low is a larger version of this third wave. And how we get that, just like we did off this wave, is take the entire 1 and 2 and put on the 1.618 extension, which is up here at 149.42. So that is just our standard guidelines. So that's our current target if this pivot holds. All right, so we're going to talk about this lower term count. So in order to keep this trend intact, we need to hold at 581.6. It does appear we have a nice complete 5-wave move. You can see we're on the top end of this channel right now. I want to get back above that shortly, but we're going to talk about this wave here. Now we had a few different counts we were following. This was the first one we were following, but that is no longer an option in my point of view. First we had our wave 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got our third wave just as expected. Take the length of wave 1 off of wave 2, the 1.618. You can see we hit that to a T. And from there, initially we thought our wave 4 was right here. You can see our target's much higher at 1231. This is where things don't always work. You just have to pay attention to what's available to you. So everything indicated to me that this was an A, B, C. We had 3, 3, and 5 waves down, and we were looking for that 1-to-1 extension off this low. Protect that A wave. That's how close our stop was, very close. So target was around $12 for that 5th wave. But I also mentioned to you in my last video, you can take a look, that this also qualifies, though unlikely, as a WXY correction, and that's all the 5th wave we got, which appears to be the case. It reaches 618 extensions of this W for the Y, and this can be counted as a 3 or a 5. So it all makes sense at this point. And you can see we're trending outside of our pitchfork, so everything indicates to me that this wave is over. And the correct count was our alternative here as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, with a running flat WXY. So currently what I'm looking for, even this one has multiple ways you can count it, but it's important to pay attention to fib levels. I have this as a 5-wave move, as an A wave, B wave, and looking for 5 waves down for an ABC. Now, this is a difficult count. I can count 5 waves, but it's not pretty. It'd be wave 1 with a flat. Let me zoom in so I can show you. With a flat 3, this has to be a triangle, A, B, C, D, E. So that's our 4 and our 5th wave down. You can see it's not pretty whatsoever. And there is an option. We make another move up because we are right in the zone. I always mention this to you, where this can be an A, complex correction for a B. We're right between that 236 and a 382 of this A wave. And we can get some relief here where this just makes a correction in itself. And after this move, we're looking for our connector. So this is open right now as an option. Other option 2 is that the B wave is actually over here. And we've already had our flat as a 3, 3, 3, or 5. This also made a new low, and this is also a 618 extension of this wave. This is where it can get difficult, and all that changes is we start our count from here rather than back here. But I'm paying attention to areas of completion. So first area of completion is if we take this as labeled as an AB, I pulled our fibs. C will equal A at 857.4. Right there in red, you can see. That's where this C wave equals this A wave off the B. Now we can get extended as well, the 236, 1.382. And that's where I have this red labels as 5 waves. 1, 2, 3 to the 1.618 extension of this wave 1 off wave 2. Look for our 4th up to around the 400 or between the 236 and the 50 once that wave fills out. And then we get our 5th wave down between the 200 and 2.236. You can see that comes right into that zone of slight extensions for that C wave. So that's what I'm looking for. There's no real trade at the moment, obviously, unless you got in up here. But I am curious how this outperforms, if this outperforms Bitcoin. Because one thing to have of note, just like I pulled off of Bitcoin, is it's not a rule or anything, but I took the length of the entire 5-wave moves, extended off in time the 618 and the 1-to-1. It's usually the zone we want to be. So if Bitcoin extends longer, what can happen? And all I would suggest is this extension after this move turns into a 3-wave W wave or an A on a larger trend, and we make some sort of WXY where we come slightly lower, maybe to the 618. Or if this finishes up sooner, like very quickly, we could get a flat. I've mentioned this in previous bull markets to you, that this tends to be a pretty standard correction in crypto. And we mentioned if it takes like into the first 2 weeks of August, this is kind of what I would expect. If Bitcoin continues to crash and this is following suit, I'd look for an A wave, B wave. It can even break this 5th wave high, just follow and track along, and we can get 3 or 5 back, depending if it's a Y or an ABC. And we look for equality of this A wave for the C wave, then we continue. So, but either way, down in these zones is a pretty good buy. Not financial advice, just what I consider. So I'm looking, ideally we hit between the 50 and the 786 for wave 2, but we don't have to come that high. I just want to see a completed count and a nice reversal. You can see I also have a pitchfork. This one's modified. If we start to drift outside of it, that's when I might consider this wave complete, just like I did to the upside, especially with strength. All right, guys, so that's it for ICP. Just tracking this correction out. We'll see what we get. Earliest I'd want to see us finished is at this 382, at least for a pivot for an A wave. We could potentially get a B and a C, like I mentioned, and just extend this correction out sideways. We want to ideally, obviously, not come too low though, especially past the 618. Want to hold that above that level. We do have support back here with previous structure, so we'll see if that helps us. All right, guys, that's it for ICP. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.